about the most infamous angle probably in pro wrestling and one of the most difficult things to see. One day, randomly on a SmackDown episode, well, but before this, you wrestled John Cena, Matt Hardy, Vince McMahon, Tajiri, Shannon Moore, a lot of wrestlers. But one day, Brock Lesnar decided to pull you down the steps or the stairs, and after that was the infamous match that is still difficult to see, where Brock Lesnar dismantled Zach Gowen, and you could see people crying in the audience. It was something so difficult to see. How was working with Brock Lesnar? How was him as a partner inside the ring? I mean, physically, I cannot even describe it in words, but you can. How was that experience for you?
Well, that's the thing. One time I asked the Big Show who the strongest wrestler he'd ever been in the ring with. And without any hesitation, he said Brock Lesnar, the strongest he's ever been. And I understood that when Brock Lesnar picked me up and put me on his shoulders. It felt like I was on the back of a horse, where you feel how sturdy and powerful that horse is. That's what wrestling Brock Lesnar felt like. It was scary and it was painful. But I will give credit to Brock Lesnar. It could have been a whole lot worse, but due to how good he is and his professionalism, he kept me safe. And for that, I'm forever grateful, because he could have killed me in just a second, yet he kept me safe. And we made very memorable television. Brock Lesnar had turned heel a few weeks before, and they wanted more steam, right? He was getting babyface reactions even after turning heel, and they wanted to do something to get the crowd to boo Brock Lesnar with a little more enthusiasm. And they picked me to help him do that, you know? And so I'm grateful that I was able to create a moment that lasts forever. And I'm even more grateful that Brock Lesnar took care of me in such a great way, and we made it look way worse than it actually was.
I'm gonna translate this to Spanish. Todos recuerdan aquella historia en donde Brock Lesnar agarra a Zach Gowen y lo empuja por las escaleras y después tienen su lucha. Zach Gowen le pregunta a Big Show, oye, ¿quién es el luchador más fuerte al que te has enfrentado? Y Big Show, sin dudarlo de una sola vez, Brock Lesnar. Y de repente Brock Lesnar se vira rudo una semana antes. ¿Y cómo pueden hacer que se gane el odio del mundo? Que es lo que querían ellos, atacando a Zach Gowen. Y durante esa paliza, Zach Gowen dice que cuando lo trepa en los hombros, él sentía que era como un caballo, como un horse, por lo fuerte y sólido que era la espalda de Lesnar. Nunca había sentido algo similar, pero que Lesnar lo cuidó mucho durante todo el proceso. Lo trató de manera excelente, fue muy profesional. Y lo principal es que hicieron televisión extremadamente memorable, porque creo que a todos nosotros se nos queda eso en la mente. I also want to say something in Spanish. Instagram, pueden seguir a Zach Gowen como @ZachGowen en Instagram. Twitter, @ZachGowen, Facebook, Zach Gowen de igual manera. Y para bookings en todas las partes del mundo, Puerto Rico, México, Panamá, Argentina, Chile, every single country in the world that wants to get Zach Gowen services as a pro wrestler, solamente tienen que ir a un lugar, es www.zachgowen.com, www.zachgowen.com. Ese es el lugar para los bookings, ese es el lugar para buscarlo y contratarlo para cualquier tipo de aparición. Este caballero es la alternativa. Y por último, ustedes quieren un saludo, quieren un video, quieren un saludo de cumpleaños, un saludo para la suegra, simplemente un video de inspiración, cameo.com/ZachGowen, cameo.com/ZachGowen, y ahí pueden encontrarlo de igual manera. Zach,
thank you, Michael. Thank you, man.
No, thank you, man. Before we go, I wanted to ask, one last thing. You've been in WWE, Ring of Honor, TNA, hell, you've been everywhere. What's the most memorable and challenging experience you've faced in the pro wrestling industry, and what message can you send to the people? It's basically a 2-in-1. What message can you send to the people that are currently and constantly dealing with multiple struggles, physically, mentally, emotionally? Their family members and everything are highly probably an obstacle in their life, but they want to do what Zach Gowen did, and it's still doing because he's still active at this point. How can people, overcome the obstacles in life and succeed in whatever they want to do, as Zach Gowen is still doing?
It's simple, but it's not easy. And this is what I believe, and this is my motto, and this is how I live my life every single day, which is that life isn't about what happens to me or circumstances that I find myself in. Life is about how I respond to what happens to me or circumstances that I find myself in. And here's the caveat, here's the important part. If my responses to life are rooted in faith and in love and in service and self-care, right? We're talking diet, we're talking prayer, we're talking meditation, we're talking exercise. If my life is rooted in those four elements, my life will reflect that and be indescribably wonderful. Listen, I've had a career that I don't deserve, not only within professional wrestling, but as a youth motivational speaker, a youth engagement expert, as a DDP yoga instructor. My entire life is based on how can I help someone today without any need of recognition or reward. And if I approach my life every day like with that mindset, who can I help today? The universe helps me way more than I could ever even imagine or dream of. And that's the only way, because like you said, life is incredibly challenging and life is hard. But for me, it's all about taking care of myself and helping another individual as I go along my path.
Es fácil, discúlpame, es simple, pero no es fácil. It's simple, but it's not easy. Hay muchas cosas que hay que estar trabajando. Hay 4 elementos básicos importantes que son a cementarse, vamos a decirlo de esta manera, en la familia, en el amor, en la fe, en el servicio a la humanidad. Si trabajas de esa manera constantemente y pones tu fe constantemente en ti y también te rodeas de las personas correctas, vas a tener la oportunidad de concretar ese sueño. Trabaja fuerte por ello, como Zach Gowen lo logró. Ahora mismo él es un instructor de DDP Yoga, es un luchador, es un motivational speaker para todos los jóvenes y es una persona que está cambiando vida. Así que si él pudo, usted puede, yo puedo, todos podemos. No hay sueño grande, simplemente tenemos que trabajar por ellos más fuertes todavía y cuestión de llegar a al próximo nivel. ZachGowen.com para bookings, Zach Gowen en Instagram, Zach Gowen en Twitter, Zach Gowen en Facebook, Cameo.com/ZachGowen, DDP Yoga también, pueden buscarlo, ddpyoga.com. Mr. Gowen, more than honored to have you as our guest today. Thank you for sharing your amazing story with us and always wishing you the best of luck and success in your career, in your life, and all the pathway you choose to follow.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Michael. Thank you for the platform.
Thank you, sir.